a historic moment.
Although Asian Pacific Americans have been part of the U.S. workforce for over 150 years.
For the first time in our nation's history, we get to come together as Asian Pacific Americans to talk about workers' rights on a national scale. Isn't that great?
We often forget how important worker stories are and how powerful they are in actually keeping us grounded in what the struggle is really about.
Thank you for this opportunity of sharing with you who I am, the challenges I face in the workplace.
好多謝咧APALA 同埋全國勞聯咧 AFL-CIO 俾我一個咁好嘅機會，使我係一個普通嘅移民工人，我喺呢度可以講我嘅心聲。
Our members deal with abuses in the workplace every single day. Many are either unpaid or underpaid, working extended hours without rest.
And they intimidate us by threatening us to termination, loss of benefit, and loss of full-time jobs.
The company pay me half compared to American worker. There is weight discrimination from the refugee at the plant.
I work as a lobby porter at HEI Lee Meridian Hotel in San Francisco. 20 years in this job, I have never been treated so badly. They can cut my hours or cut my benefits, but they can never take away my voice.
On one time card, we put down the actual hours that we worked, typically 60 to 70 hours. On another time card, the company would put down 16 to 20 hours and pay us for those hours.
Despite my education and my assertiveness, I was helpless and hopeless in this country, famous for being the land of opportunities.
In January 2007, I was trafficked to the United States by Signal International. Is this America, the land of liberty, where workers are brought to labor camps and threatened with deportation if they try to defend their dignity?
The stories that we heard today of violations of workers' rights are unacceptable.
Stories of worker abuse and exploitation that still, to this day, in the year 2009, exist in our country.
It is so clear that labor and the API community are essential to each other and that we need each other.
As a young professional female, I may not invoke the image of a typical union member, but I represent thousands of young professionals who understand the power of collective bargaining and the importance of being in a union.
I keep thinking about all the people who aren't in this room. We need to keep educating union members, non-immigrant union members, about the immigrant worker experiences.
Bangladesh, China, India, Pakistan, Vietnam, the casino manager thought they could use intimidation to stop our efforts to join the union.
I had the opportunity to be a part of the organization and be part of the movement, which is about getting rid of our shame and speaking up for ourselves.
60% of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are foreign-born. 1.3 million undocumented immigrants exist in our communities.
They thought to divide us by race and language. They thought they could scare us by threatening us if we do not have American citizenship.
There's so much hysteria regarding immigration. We must provide a clear path to citizenship for otherwise law-abiding, undocumented immigrants.
The DREAM Act would create a path to legalization for immigrants who came to the United States before 16 years old, have been here for 5 years or more, are of good moral character, and who complete 2 years of college or serve 2 years in the military.
If we are to succeed, we must build larger and larger coalitions with others.
I also wanted to give a special thanks to APALA and the AFL-CIO for their commitment to engage young workers and students.
It is critical now than ever for us to continue building the grassroots infrastructure out there to support worker organizing.
After years and years of workers getting no hearing at the Department of Labor, Secretary Solis says we are back in the enforcement business and we are hiring hundreds of more investigators because these kinds of wage
Indeed, we will pass the Employee Free Choice Act, that indeed we will pass comprehensive immigration reform, that indeed we will pass the DREAM Act, and that we will build a society that is more democratic, more inclusive, and indeed stands for liberty and justice for all.